Yes, it worked! Hopefully he stays there this time. Now I can get down to reviewing. Ow! The hell, man? What? Jaws 5? There's another Jaws movie?! Why? Why does this exist? Haven't they learned their lesson? No one wants more Jaws films. They just don't work. Who even greenlit this? Wait, William Snyder? Who the hell is that? Let me see. Oh, it's Bruno Mattei. If you don't know, Bruno Mattei was a film director from Italy, who mainly operated out of the Philippines and is most notable for his line of exploitation films. I can see some of these movies being original, while a lot others are knockoffs of other movies. Cruel Jaws, for instance, was obviously made to capitalize on the Jaws franchise, while literally stealing from it and other Italian-made shark films like Deep Blood and The Last Shark. Dread Central says, releasing this as Jaws 5 in some territories was fitting because that series was all about diminishing returns, and I can safely say Jaws 4 The Revenge looks like a masterpiece next to this. Damn! And considering how bad that movie is, how can you sink lower with a knockoff? Only one way to find out. We open on some boat where a couple of divers are being sent down to find top-secret documents in a sunken military ship called the Cleveland. I suppose the dark scenery is there to build suspense, but at the same time I can't make heads or tails of anything. Oh, is this dark blob the shark? If it is, that's kinda neat, but I can barely see our divers now. You'd think one of these guys would have had a light source for diving at night, and one does, but it's still impossible to see. They only have 3 minutes to escape, which makes me wonder how long they thought they needed to find those ship documents. But the shark gets them both, and then it attacks the boat and eats the captain? And suddenly we cut to Florida while the credits are still rolling. Between the darkness and the quick cuts, this movie isn't well shot. Original shark design and special effects created by Larry Manini, huh? Why do I not trust that any of it was original? Anywho, we see some guy driving a large camper van with some girl. Jeez, it's so hazy down in Florida. They arrive at some marine park where they converse with some little girl playing with dolphins, while people are creepily watching her.
Hi, Susie.
Alright, Glasses Boy is named Bill, or Billy. His girlfriend is Vanessa, and this guy is Dag, father of the little girl Susie. Apparently, Susie's paralysis comes from an accident that also killed her mother. Jeez. Oh, and I guess they're being evicted from the aquarium in 30 days? I can barely tell what's going on. Gotta say, Dag looks like Hulk Hogan even though he's played by Richard Dew. Hopefully he isn't as racist as the late wrestler.
That fat money-grubbing bastard. I'd like to rip his balls off.
Don't we all? Anyways, some dumb teens, or adults, are fooling about until they discover a zombie. Oh wait, that's just a corpse. Only way to be sure is through an autopsy.
It was a shark, alright. And a big one.
Are you full?
That wasn't me, by the way. This movie just jump cuts to another scene in progress. So one of these guys is supposed to be the mayor, and the other is Samuel Lewis, who is trying to evict Dag or whatever. Obviously, the film is playing the same beats as the original Jaws movie, where the mayor refuses to close the beach for fear of losing money. So he's searching for any reason to call the shark attack an unlucky accident.
Why, hell, you know how many people drowned in accidents?
There's only one shark that can do a job like this.
And which one is that?
The tiger shark.
Incidentally, that was one of the sharks they caught in the first movie. I'm just surprised they didn't suspect a great white. Then we have a subplot with these two dunderheads, and I can't tell if this is natural or bad dubbing.
You see that? The super babe, she tits out like watermelon. You like them all as long as they're breathing.
Hey, that's enough, isn't it?
Either way, this is just Jaws 2 with teenagers roped into the shark plot, except it's less important here. Bob is one of Dags' sons, and the other is supposed to be Larry, but I'm not invested enough to remember. The only time they are memorable is for the wrong reasons.
Nat, hold it.
What do you want?
I'm the person in charge of pussy. I have to, check your credentials.
If you know, you know. We jump again to Lewis, I think, who tells his son about the shark stuff. The other guy thinks it's just a hoax from Dag to get revenge for his eviction.
You know that Gloria has got a crush on Bob? He hangs around like a bad smell.
Why, that dirty little bastard. I'll tear his fucking balls off!
Expect to hear the word balls a lot. Also, just because the kids date each other doesn't make them aware of your stupid little property war. You're just a greedy asshole. They plan to do something, but first, time for another Jaws-inspired scene with the shark making its way to eat beachgoers, starting with the girl. Not even gonna try and rescue her? You suck. Such a horrific sight to see. And back to cutesy aquarium stuff. If there's one thing this movie has over Jaws 3, it's the seal. There's also Gloria, Lewis's daughter, who seems to be a good friend to Dags' family, so I don't see what the problem is. Bob opens up to Gloria about what's going on and wishes he could do something. They make out, but some assholes sent by Lewis butt in to break them up.
Gloria!
Brotherly abuse! How tactful. Yeah, I guess that was Lewis's son we saw earlier, named Ronnie. I know what to do with him.
You need a lesson. Ah! The world's a bad place, Bobby boy. And you and your daddy are in the shut up to your neck.
Shut up, Ronnie.
Seriously, I don't get what their deal is. Are they some kind of mafia family that has to squeeze money from this aquarium, even if it already makes good money? Oh, and of course they resort to poisoning some fish to feed the dolphins. But Dag and, I think it's his son Larry, catch on to what's going on and call in Billy to help cure the dolphin. Yay! Meanwhile, that boyfriend from before tells Sheriff Francis about the shark attack. Now Francis needs to do something. What the? Bill tries to elaborate on what sharks can do. If the regatta, or whatever party they have, proceeds, it'll be a feast for the shark. In the meantime, Lewis shows some contractors the aquarium because he wants to build a hotel on the property. Like there aren't already a dozen other hotels in this area, so what's one more?
I'll beat the shit out of anyone who tries to poison my dolphins.
I don't even know what you're talking about. And
Don't be so wicked, Mr. Lewis. Gloria cares about Pookie and Daisy, too.
When even a little girl says you're wicked, you know you're just evil. She starts tearing up, so here comes the seal. Ha ha ha! 5 people are dead at this point. Naturally, Lewis tries sucking up to the mayor to lie about what just happened. I cannot believe that the only sensible guy in this room is the cop. He's no Martin Brody, one of the few good cops I like in fiction, but even he has the sense to suggest closing down the beaches until the shark problem is resolved. The mayor doesn't even try to be like Vaughn and just seems like a yes man to Lewis.
Mayor Jefferson, this shark is a perfect machine, a man-eating machine, and it's already taken the lives of 2 people.
put shark myth around a boundary to regatta.
Okay, seriously, you couldn't finish the earlier scene? How can APE be more coherent than this? Well, there's our shark, and before it can do anything, we cut to Billy and Vanessa making out in their room until Francis shows up to cockblock them.
Shark cages have arrived.
Billy's busy. We got invited to the club tonight.
No, it's okay, Vanessa. Go on, Belinda. I'll catch up to you later on.
Once and for all, Billy, it is the fish or me.
Girl, people are being killed by a shark. The sexy time can wait. At least we get a kinda cute moment from Susie, who keeps bringing up the shark to Dag at bedtime.
If the shark tried to eat me, I'd punch him in the nose.
Well, why not? It worked for Phil. The acting in this movie is so good that Susie immediately falls asleep once Dag starts reading Tom Thumb. Now at the bar party, we see Vanessa trying to hit on Tommy. Did she forget that Ronnie tried to poison her boyfriend's family's dolphin? And Billy even made it to the party. So you got worked up for nothing. Elsewhere, Bob and Gloria are hanging out in secret. And also, this is totally being shot during the day, even though the blue filter makes it look like night. At least we can see what's going on compared to earlier. Anyway, Gloria wants to run away with Bob to leave behind their feuding families. And over yonder are Ronnie and Vanessa fooling around and going into the water. Guess Vanessa could lose her plot armor and is eligible to die soon. Tommy and Glenda also come to fool around, and I guess Ronnie is so stupid he can't see it's them and not the police. And when it looks like the shark is going to attack them, as it's dragging a pink buoy or something, they make it to shore none the wiser. This movie had a chance to kill off Ronnie and they didn't take it? What was the point? There is now a press conference regarding the safety measures in place to keep the regatta going, including underwater nets and guards posted beyond it, which was taken from Last Shark, by the way. It won't mean much if the shark is already inside, but what are the odds of that happening? You gotta love the tact the tourists have about this.
Which way we can see the shark from?
What shark?
The one that killed all those folks.
Total disregard of human life. Why am I not surprised?
Ronnie, shut up.
Also, child abuse! Anyway, they seem to find the shark and shoot it. Based on the comments I keep reading about the movie, the shark in question is not a tiger shark, but a great white. That's really funny, since that's what the sharks in Jaws were, and this film tried to do something else but went back to what it was ripping off. But either way, they seem to have killed the shark, though Billy has his doubts because of the discrepancies in jaw size. Lewis doesn't heed this detail, so the regatta is on. We see that he sponsored it, which is why he's so desperate to ignore any warning signs. Bill also expresses deeper worries that the shark wasn't ordinary, that it was even trained to attack and kill people. Now, why would you think that? As the race is about to begin, we get a knockoff Jaws theme as it creeps along the floor and attacks the gate. Bob and Ronnie have their rival fight, the shark breaks in, and Dag spots the shark dragging another buoy. I'd say panic ensues, but it's badly edited. Not just with the cuts, but the sound too.
Do something, Tommy! Help them! Save them!
Think I'm crazy?
Sure, the shark is racking up a higher kill count than all the Jaws films combined, but I don't care. And the mechanical shark they use is just... it's so stupid looking. I'm sure the quality of the build is fine, but the presentation is just... no. Oh, and it attacks the pier that Susie and Vanessa are on. More people get killed, and it's like, how hungry is that shark? Is it just biting everyone at least once, or devouring them all Pac-Man style? Nothing about this makes sense. Susie falls into the water, while Vanessa redeems herself by saving her and dying in her place. The survivors all look at Lewis and expect him to take responsibility. And then this happens.
Samuel Lewis, the big boss of Shark City. Is that what you want the newspapers and TV to call you?
They are literally just copying words from Jaws at this point.
Larry, the summer is over. You're the mayor of Shark City. These people think you want the beaches open.
Dag and Billy go over what they have to do to take on this tiger shark, which again is a great white in this movie, and then we end up in a different movie?
It's your decision to go ahead with the regatta. Then our friends in New York are not gonna be very happy.
Damn it, I was kidding about the Mafia earlier. Yeah, so Lewis and his son have Mafia ties. They weren't just faking it. They're told to solve the problem or else. Ronnie and his friends decide to go hunt for the shark too, like Dag, Billy, and Rob are gonna do, and while they leave, listen to this. Yes, they seriously took a cut from the John Williams Star Wars theme. Anyway, Ronnie and his idiot squad are gonna try and shoot a shark with a shotgun. It obviously fails, but then the shark attacks? I don't know what's going on. How is it keeping them there, and why is the propeller not hurting it? Oh wait, there's actual damage now. They lure it up with some meat, and when Ronnie has a perfect shot, he misses. And then...
Shut up, Ronnie.
and this is followed by one of the funniest deaths in the movie. Are we sure this isn't actually a comedy? Right now, Dag and crew don't know they're out there, so they'll be in for a nice surprise later. But Francis learns what happened and orders the boats to come back, and sadly, said boat gets stuck. Bob gets to work repairing the ship, and then notices that there's a ship below them, the Cleveland, which Billy recognizes, but they get told to leave by the Coast Guard before we can learn more. Now Francis decides to go fly out and look for the shark. He finds it and...
We need a bigger helicopter!
Do I need to say anything? Now I want you to just look at this shot of them being high up, and the shark pulling on the meat they have. Watch what happens once Francis starts shooting and tell me if it makes any sense.
The line! Cut the goddamn line! Oh my god!
So, the shark dragged down the helicopter enough to leap at the passengers? Really? And now it's the Mafia's turn to get involved, but the screen dips to black. Guess this copy ain't very good. Gloria overhears all this, so Lewis locks her in her room to keep her from spilling their secrets. Anyway, Billy tells the others about what the Cleveland had, and you're not gonna believe this.
That ship was carrying a shark born in captivity. Top secret naval experiments. A death machine trained to attack the enemy. Now, if the theory of territoriality is correct, and I have no reason to doubt it, the wreck of the Cleveland is where that thing lives. And the sea around here is its hunting reserve.
What? So when they first decided to have the opening kill guys be divers looking for military secrets, I didn't think they were looking for a Navy experiment that attacks and kills people. How did you even know about that? Did you work for the Navy or something? And if this was public knowledge, then why wasn't this shark brought up as a possible explanation for the attacks? This explanation is such an asshole and one of the laziest forms of writing I've ever seen. Even APE at least explained where its giant ape came from at the start, even if we didn't see it. Anywho, the plan is now to fill the Cleveland with dynamite to kill the shark because it likes going back there for some reason. Gloria finally escapes imprisonment and warns Billy and crew, so now they get back to the aquarium. The goons find the map of the Cleveland and sabotage our heroes' boat after knocking out Bob and Larry. The goal is to ride out to kill the shark and, surprise, surprise, they die! This is one of the better looking kills of the movie, though I can't say the other guy has a clean-cut death. Our heroes fix their ship, say their goodbyes, and head out for the final battle with more knockoff John Williams music. The boys get the charges ready and head on down. The others swim into the Cleveland, and it's a race against time to fill that ship with explosives before the shark returns. There's action once that happens, but it's hard to tell what is happening a lot of the time. But I guess all the humans made it out, and it's followed by a wave of explosions. Oh no, Nestor died again! Oh well, I was getting bored of that clip. Sometime later, the aquarium is back in business. Lewis personally shows off the award check, but gets dropped into the pool by that seal again. It's a lighthearted ending for a movie where tons of people died due to negligence, and even the Mafia will likely string Lewis up for his gross incompetence. And that's Jaws 5 Cruel Jaws. Holy hell, this is bad. It's funny here and there, and never for the right reasons. The movie was forgettable initially, but over time I do start to remember characters, if only because of their funny performances. But the plot is just cut and paste from other movies, even to the point of stealing footage and lines, and has to compensate by overacting villains who really don't matter in the end. There were plenty of kills to be sure, but the shark's motivations came out of nowhere and shouldn't be discernible for the human characters. It's just gross incompetence all around. The movie's problems didn't just end once it was done. When Scream Factory wanted to put this on Blu-ray as a double feature with Exterminators of the Year 3000, it wasn't able to because of the assets from other movies that Jaws 5 used. There is a cult following with this movie, probably because of the so bad it's good aspects that I did have fun with. Even still, this makes Jaws 4 look competent in comparison. The tone and editing are all over the place, and it's hard to follow the action at times. But if you are curious and know what you're getting into, I suppose it wouldn't hurt watching for yourself. There, the knockoff Jaws film is done. Can we get back on track and do what I was supposed to review? Now what? Oh, hell no!